The most common mistakes I've seen in marketing strategies for the past 8 years is focusing too much on the visual side of things while ignoring the structure and the quality of your work. Less is more. A good marketing strategy does not necessarily have to be a pretty 200 slide deck. In this video, I'll show you how I created this compact yet meaningful marketing strategy step by step, including typical mistakes to avoid when creating your marketing strategy, calculating marketing KPIs, and some useful resources to follow for creating a marketing strategy you won't be ashamed of. And much more. And the tool I'm going to be using for this marketing strategy is called ScreenTel, and I want to thank ScreenTel for sponsoring this video. I was really happy when the team from ScreenTel reached out to me because I've been on the lookout for a note-taking app that is super easy to use and that does not require comprehensive onboarding, because I'm pretty sure we all know that there is plenty of note-taking apps out there, but unfortunately most of them do require some sort of complicated onboarding, and the way I see it, some of them even require, certain coding skills to start with. So with ScreenTel, you can brainstorm, present, make some notes, and you'll become productive literally in a matter of seconds. And this is ideal, especially when you need to work on some last-minute brainstorming, and let's face it, in the world of marketing, that's a very typical scenario. And their collaborative features is something special as well. Say we need to share the specs of our SEO plan with our content marketer, so I can just add a tag only to this part of the entire marketing strategy and share a specific tag with my content marketer, and I'm not gonna overwhelm them with tons of other info. I mean, how cool is that? And don't just take my word for it, try it out yourself. Use my promo code ELENA10 and get a 10% discount on the annual plan. The discount is valid for 4 weeks starting today. Step number 1, working on marketing goals. And by the way, I forgot to mention that today I look kind of official because I'm holding my mic like this. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Does it look perhaps too official? Do I look like a real TV host? Anyways, having a specific and a measurable marketing goal is a must. You might go to the gym without having a goal, or you might go to the gym knowing that you need to lose 10 kilos by the end of next month. Your motivation will increase drastically in the second scenario. The first step to go about it is to think about the business goals. They are determined by your C-level executives. I'm going to repeat it one more time. Before rushing into creating a marketing goal, you need to have a clear understanding of where your business is headed. Talk to your C-level executives, grab a coffee chat with them, and also trust me, quite often the actual goals and the actual direction of the company is quite different from what's written on the fancy About Us pages. And of course, your goals can be completely different based on the growth stage of your company. Some of the most typical mistakes here, first of all, having unrealistic goals, having non-measurable goals, having or not having specific goals. I'm pretty sure you've all heard about the concept of SMART goals. Also remember, a goal is not a task. For example, hire a content marketer or create a new website is not a goal. This is a task. Let's use a random case example here. Say we work for an online school for coders, so we sell programming courses online, and the pricing packages vary from $700 to $5,000. So by the end of next year, the CEO wants to grow the sales to $1 million. And we need to create a digital marketing plan to drive inbound leads. Here's how we would create a marketing goal. First of all, we need to carve out the percentage of marketing contribution to sales. So the school has 2 types of sales model: 30% of outbound sales, which are basically on the shoulders of the sales team, and the remaining part is inbound sales, which is handled by the marketing team. Therefore, the estimated annual marketing contribution to sales would be $700,000 or $58 per month. Step number 2 would be to find the average revenue per paid user. According to our CRM system, that was $1,000. based on last year performance. The next step is to estimate how many clients a marketing team can actually attract. So in our case, let's do a simple math. We need 700 clients to achieve the marketing generated revenue. The next step is to calculate the maximum allowable customer acquisition cost. It could be percentage from your sales, percentage of your margin, or other defined number. The CEO says that he's comfortable allocating 20% of the average sale to marketing. Therefore, $200 is our maximum customer acquisition cost. And this way we can actually even calculate our marketing budget. So in our case, we can stick to $140K US per year. The next step is to check out all important conversion rates you need to take into account. For example, extract historical data in your CRM or turn to industry benchmarks if you're just starting out, because most likely you don't have any past performance at hand yet. We know that on average, 2% of website visitors convert into leads, and we also know that 50% of our leads typically convert into paying customers. So these are the key two conversion rates we need to take into account, and our so-called final conversion rate is 1%, which basically means that, for example, we can calculate the number of website visitors that we need to generate. So in our case, it would be 70K website visits per year, or roughly we would need to generate 5,833 website visitors per month. To sum it up, the business goal of the business, everything is all right here, is to generate $1 million in sales by 31st of December 2024. And our marketing goal is to drive roughly $60K sales with a maximum customer acquisition cost of $200. Important disclaimer: of course, there might be completely different scenarios and therefore calculations would be different. For example, your language school can have the first month as a free trial, or for example, a fraction of your customers is generated from your existing customers. In that case, some of the marketing budget will be allocated on the retention campaigns. So the idea here is just to show the thinking process that you can then apply to your business. By the way, a feature that I really loved about Screentel is that you can quickly brainstorm. For example, brainstorm online with your marketing team on your marketing goals. And in the same view, with just a few clicks, you can turn it into a presenter mode and present it to the right stakeholders, so no need to switch between different tools. The next step is to think about your target audience. Which of these two scenarios spark more marketing or content ideas in your head? Case number 1, Mary, 34 years old, goes to the gym once a week. Case number 2, Mary, a 30-plus-year-old woman living in a European capital, having a lot of stress at work and is looking for a way to get distracted from work. Exactly. So knowing your target audience and their real points is a must. Trust me, it's gonna help you across so many levels of your marketing campaign, starting from the messaging on your main web page or choosing the right advertising channels, for example. Being delusional about your target audience is a road to failure. That was actually the case with the social network Path. They had the hypothesis that users needed an alternative to Facebook, so something convenient, minimalistic, and without the clutter. However, in reality, the users would actually install the app, use it briefly, and then eventually return to Facebook, so eventually the project had to close. Some of the typical mistakes here: first of all, we don't know our users and we simply lie to ourselves that we know them, meaning that we've actually got no clue what our clients want. Number 2, we don't know if a potential client is actually looking for a solution like ours, and we also don't know what price they are ready to pay for the solution. Mistake number 3, we don't understand what we need to change in our product to grow sales. Number 4, we create businesses and marketing strategies based on our gut feeling and some kind of guesstimates rather than trustworthy data. Another one is we create assumptions based on personal experiences. This is especially common for startup founders who have the domain knowledge. There's plenty of tools out there for customer research, but ultimately the best way to get to know your customers is simply to talk to them. You can join sales calls, listen to your sales conversations, check out the comms with the client in your CRM system, for example. Book a call with the client yourself. For example, you can tell them that you want to make their user experience even better, and trust me, they'll be happy to share their feedback. So the outcome of this step should be a summary of at least 20 interviews with your clients. You can ask different questions. It really depends on your business model, on the stage of your company. Based on my experience, some of the most effective questions are: now that you're using our product regularly, what are you able to do that you weren't before? Now that you're using our product, have you stopped doing something else perhaps? And how would you describe our product to a colleague, a friend, or a family member who's never used it before? Step number 3 is competitor research. If you've ever participated in a company-wide meeting where your CEO presents your current financial results to the entire company, I'm sure you've seen a competitive analysis like this. And trust me, this is one of the most misleading charts you can ever come across. A chart like this is prepared for potential investors as a rule, and of course the idea here is simply to look better than your competitors at all costs. And the idea is also to attract more money in the long run. Here's what you should do instead. Pick your direct competitors and analyze their marketing efforts across the entire funnel. So when it comes to awareness, find out their content marketing performance with the tools like SimilarWeb or SEMrush. You can create a 7-day free trial account if you don't have a paid version yet. Explore, for example, what kind of keywords they use to drive traffic, what content pieces generate the majority of their website visits. Take a look at what social platforms perform best. Make a list of brand ads they run. Check them with, for example, the Meta Ads library or on LinkedIn. Check out their brand mentions on various media with BuzzSumo. Set Google alerts. Consideration. So after browsing through their websites for a few days, you'll definitely will be bombarded with their retargeting ads on all social platforms. So take screenshots and see what you can do better. Sign up for their blog updates. When it comes to conversion, start a free trial or make a small purchase, why not, depending on their business model, and see how you'll be attracted to become a paid user. It could be an interesting pop-up on their mobile app, for example, or a series of cool emails to warm you up. Take notes. Loyalty. After all, become a paid user and see what kind of upselling strategies they use. Do they create some kind of special offers? Do they run pop-up notifications to encourage you to spend more time with them? How sad are they to see you go in case you cancel? And a bonus tip, find out what tech stack they use by stalking them on buildwith.com. Channel breakdown and KPIs. So let's roll up our sleeves and pick specific channels that help us reach the goals set at the very beginning. Some of the most typical mistakes in this step that I've seen during my experience: first of all, not justifying why you've chosen certain channels. Another mistake is picking some channels randomly or simply because your competitors do it. That's a very common one. So you don't know the behind the scenes of your competitors. You've got no clue if the channels they use actually bring any results to your competitors. And of course, you don't know their exact marketing budget. Another mistake is not setting up the right KPIs to evaluate how a certain channel actually performs. Some marketers also call it spray and pray approach. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm gonna pick content marketing and SEO as one of the channels, and I'll show you the entire thinking process behind it. So number one, kind of the overall goal is to establish our brand as a thought leader in the industry and of course to generate qualified traffic. If we refer to our case example discussed at the beginning, we would need to generate at least 5,833 website visitors. And of course, SEO-friendly content marketing strategy is an amazing tool to achieve that. And ultimately, we can create an SEO content pillar strategy around the keywords that are relevant for our business. A few ways or a few reasons why we've chosen this channel. Well, first of all, of course, it's a no-brainer that SEO-friendly content marketing brings qualified leads and results in sales. And well, long-form SEO content establishes this kind of brand authority and makes you look more professional in the eyes of your potential customers. And the most important one, we've checked our competitor performance with a tool like SEMrush, and we've noticed that while our brand gets less than 1,000 of website visitors per month, our competitors get close to 3K per month, so there's definitely lots of room to growth here. The next to-dos here would be, well, first of all, analyze your current SEO performance, analyze their SEO performance, set goals and KPIs, audit the current content that you have, create a more detailed and a more thorough content strategy. I would definitely focus on the topic clusters approach here. Then we would work on some on-page and off-page SEO tactics, and of course finally we're going to implement our ideas and actually create and publish our website articles. Some KPIs to stick to here, well, in terms of organic traffic, we aim to grow to close than 2K per month in a period of 3 months. We can assume that the other share of the traffic will be generated with other channels, for example paid marketing. Then we want to rank from number 1 to 5 organically for the keywords relevant to our business. And again, with SEMrush, we've noticed that this is exactly the case for our competitors. They do rank high, even for non-branded keywords. And of course, we want to generate high quality backlinks. So we would stick to earning at least 1 backlink per month with an authority score from 50 to 100, because we don't just want to generate any backlinks, we only want to generate good quality ones. And then we will just list some stakeholders that need to be involved. We would then discuss how are we going to report on our performance, some of the tools that we're going to use, the frequency of our work, and let's drop a few useful resources simply for learning and inspiration. Finally, let's plan how we're going to measure the results of our work. A few common mistakes here. First of all, not setting up the right analytical, tags and all the technical stuff here before launching any paid campaign, before your website relaunch. Make sure that you have all the tracking in place. And you really need to do that well in advance, because especially if you're a new person on the company, it might take some time to reach out to the right stakeholders, for example, to your IT department, right? To ensure that all the tracking is in place. And another mistake is focusing on the irrelevant or vanity metrics, for example, measuring the number of likes your social media post generated. Essentially, it makes sense to break down your reporting into 2 levels: marketing level reporting and, of course, business level reporting. When it comes to the business level side of things, it's enough to meet just once a quarter. For example, the head of marketing meets the CEO, and they don't talk much. They only focus on a few key metrics. Usually it's revenue, plan and fact, clients, plan and fact, and customer acquisition cost, plan and fact. Of course, again, based on your business model, you may discuss some other metrics, for example, the number of free trials generated. As a rule of thumb, business owners care about customer acquisition cost and lifetime value. Ideally, your lifetime value should be 3 times more than the customer acquisition cost, because this way you can run a sustainable business. For a marketing level reporting, you can have weekly one-on-ones to discuss how many clients do we have now, what's the plan, so what KPIs do we have, what did we do last week, what results did it bring, what are we planning to do next week, and how many clients we can estimate by the end of the month with the current dynamics and the current trends that we have. Of course, for the marketing reporting, you would go then more granular, and some of the metrics you can take into account here. Of course, again, it may vary based on your marketing channels, but for example, something to look at is your brand searches, your website traffic, including organic traffic, of course, number of email subscribers, your email conversion rates, your demo requests, high intent demo requests also, what kind of pipeline you created, how many deals you generated, their amount, what's your sales cycle length, and of course campaign cost and ROI. You can create dedicated Looker Studio dashboards for marketing level reporting, and you can also within this report add a separate page where you only list the key business metrics for the business level reporting, and those reports will be updated in real time and they're always up to date, super convenient. Let's wrap it up. You can check out this entire marketing strategy at any time. I'm gonna drop the link in the description below. Remember to try out Screentel for yourself, use my promo code and enjoy. Thanks a lot for watching my video as usual. See you in the next ones. Cheers!